Hello, everybody. So, beyondweddings.ca. And now we have with us today Shelley from Belle Rose Cakes, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and stuff like that. So, hi, Shelley. Welcome.
Hi, Brendan. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Good.
Good stuff. So, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me and, giving us a little bit more info on how we can find out more about you.
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem. So tell us a little bit about, where Belle Rose Cakes came from and how you got into the business and how it all started.
Well, I've always been in the kitchen, baking, making meals. It's a way to connect people together. And always been interested in cake decorating. And my two nephews both got engaged in the same year in 2004. And I decided this was a great opportunity to go and take some courses and maybe get their wedding cake done for them. So that's what I did. Started like that, and it's been going ever since.
Oh, wow. That's a great way to get in there. You have a little bit of the, all right, let me learn how to do it, but then also a little bit more emotional involvement where it's my nephews and, I want to do a great job for them. So that's kind of coming from both sides. That's great.
Yeah, it's been a fun experience.
Nice. Okay, so that would mean 2004. So that's about 12 years in the business by now.
Yeah, 12 years in the business. Opened the shop officially 2013. The shop is right in our yard.
Okay, nice. So how would you describe what you love most about the industry? I know you do cakes for quite a few different types of events, but in particular weddings. How can you explain to me, what you love the most about being involved in weddings?
Well, being a woman, weddings are always fascinating. Doesn't matter your age. I've been married for over 31 years already, and weddings I still find a very exciting time. So to be able to share in the excitement with the bride and groom, to help plan their wedding, to see their personalities and what they want in their wedding come through in a cake, it's an amazing thing.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought that, even after that many years, women would get that excited about weddings, but it makes sense, There's lots
Well,
of...
maybe not all women, but I do. I enjoy it. It's the happiness factor.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. So that means, you've seen and you've dealt with quite a few different couples and, you get to deal with ladies when they get to a certain time of planning and talking about their food and so forth. So we know that not everybody makes the best decisions at all times. So I'm curious, what would be the three biggest mistakes that you've seen couples, brides or grooms make as they're searching for a cake decorator or trying to find the right cake for the wedding?
Yeah, they tend to not book early enough. They sometimes leave it to the last minute, and depending on what they want on their cake, you sometimes have to order in things. So it could take, 3-4 months before you get the product in that they need for their cake. So rule of thumb for me anyway is to have at least 6 months notice.
6 months. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, you got to plan. It's all in the planning. Another mistake they make is they order too much cake.
Really?
Order for the amount of guests that they're inviting. My way of thinking is not everybody stays until cake time, depending on what time your cake time is.
What? I love cake. Why would nobody eat it?
Well, personally, I'm a baker. I don't eat cake.
Oh.
Seems a little odd to be in the business and not eat it, but maybe that's a good thing too, because I could weigh 500 pounds otherwise. But yeah, ordering too much cake is definitely something they have to think about, because you don't want to go home with 4 tiers of cake. Nobody likes cake that much.
I see what you mean.
Another thing, you see all these cake decorating shows on TV. They're elaborate, they're huge, and they think coming in that they can order a 4 or a 5-tier cake on $100 budget.
Ah,
So
I
you have
see.
to keep reality in check, because sometimes decorating a cake, you don't realize the amount of effort that goes into it. I know personally, for making, let's say, fondant roses, I do them petal by petal. So one rose can take up to an hour.
Wow.
So there's a lot of labor involved.
Yes, I have to agree. My mom is a cake decorator as well. And when we used to live in Jamaica, her cake decorating and catering business, she was quite busy with it. And oh yes, you know, like just making the fondant and all the different things and wire flowers and oh man, it's so much work. And then the temperature affects everything. Oh yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So you see these people that they come in and they bring this idea from the shows that they've watched of a massive cake, but not realizing the cost that goes along with it.
Right.
And then that kind of falls into having too much cake for people.
Yeah. So they see a 4 or 5-tier cake and they think, okay, I'm having a wedding for 50 people. Way too much cake.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, seeing as though now we know what are some of the mistakes or the possible mistakes that couples can make, would you be able to, you know, give me 6 ideas or 6 tips that would be important for them to keep in mind when they're searching for that cake decorator or the person to, or the baker?
Okay. Bring in lots of ideas with you. Your color scheme, your theme of your wedding. This is something that is helpful. If you have no idea what you want on your wedding cake, it gives the cake decorator an idea of where to go with it. Find out if they do taste testings, because you need your cake to look nice, but it has to taste good before the nice.
That is true.
It can look pretty on the outside, but if you taste it and it's just not right, it's not worth it. Ask if they're willing to deliver. You don't want to have to transport a 4 or 5-tier wedding cake on your own. Roads are bumpy. Traffic's crazy a lot of times. A cake decorator will sometimes assemble the cake right at the venue, so there's no accidents to be had. So if they're deliver, it makes it easier for you, takes one less thing off your list to worry about.
I see, because I guess there is no, if I came and picked the cake up from you, hoping to save myself some cost in delivering it, but then when it leaves your shop, you assemble it so that I have the finished product.
That's
But
right.
if I injure the cake on the way, it's could be because I don't have the proper means to transport it. While for you, you would transport it there and then assemble it so that it looks its best on site.
Correct.
Okay.
Just saves a lot of worry.
Gotcha.
You can ask the baker decorator if they provide displays. You can rent displays for your cupcakes, for your cakes. Sometimes it's easier to have that come with the cake because it's the appropriate size. It holds the right size cake. You know, it's just makes it a little easier. And another thing is maybe ask to see some work that's been done. You know, you want to see what others have done with their cakes and what this baker decorator can do for you. Word of mouth, best advertising there is. So if you know somebody that has been married in the last year or so, call them, find out who they had as their baker decorator. And, you know, word of mouth is the big thing. People don't recommend you if you're no good.
That is very true. That is very true. Okay. So seeing as though now we have an idea of what are some things to keep in mind as we start looking, and we're going to see all these different cake decorators and bake shops. What's unique about Belle Rose Cakes? You know, what can you tell me that will make me want to come and buy my cake and my cupcakes and my cookies and all that good stuff from you?
A lot of the recipes are handed down recipes. Um, I am the owner operator of the business. So you deal with me through the entire process, from the design concept, the taste testing, the baking, the decorating, the delivery. It's all me.
Okay, very nice. And where is your shop located?
I am in St. Genevieve, which is north of Steinbach. So we're just on the north side of the number 1 highway at the number 12.
Okay, so in terms of time, how long would it take for somebody to get to you from Steinbach, and how long would it take for them to get to you from Winnipeg?
It's about a half hour either way.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm about, if anybody knows where St. Anne is, I'm about 10 minutes from St. Anne.
mm.
I'm kind of between the St. Anne and Nola area.
Okay.
And the shop is built right in our yard. So it's a nice place to have to go to work on a day like today, especially when it's storming. I just put my jacket on and make it to work.
That is nice. That is nice. So, what are some of the trends that we're looking at for this coming year and maybe even next year? What are some of the trends that you see people asking for?
Well, cupcakes are still popular. So a lot of people do a small cake for them to cut and then have cupcakes for their guests. Different types of wedding cakes are lace appliques, ruffles, rosettes, hand painted, things like
Hand
that.
painted.
Yeah.
What would somebody paint on a cake? Like, what would you paint on there?
You'd be surprised what you can put on a cake. You can
Wow.
do roses, you can do butterflies. It's all in your imagination.
Okay. And so right now, as we're talking, you're in your bakery, you're in your shop, right?
Yes, I am.
Would we be able to take just a quick look around?
You sure can. Actually, we have some cake pans set up here so that you can see what it looks like.
Mm.
Just pan around. It's a very small shop, nice and cozy. Everything's at my fingertips.
Very nice. And so your customers would come to your shop and they would hang out and they would taste and so forth.
Yes. And if they're not interested in taste testing, but they still want to have a consultation, I can come to them.
Oh, okay, nice. You're mobile. So if I want to get in touch with you, Shelley, what are some of the easiest ways to get in touch with you?
Easiest ways are through Facebook. You can message me there. I have a website. It's bellerosecakes.com. So you can just shoot me a message on there. You can also go onto either of those sites to be able to see some of my work. You can contact me by phone. The number is behind me. Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shelley, for being a part of this today. And we look forward to seeing you at the Beyond Weddings Expo. That's going to be on March 4th, 2017.
Looking forward to being there and seeing all the happy brides and grooms.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. See you.